It is election season in the United States, and that means people are panic buying. Panic buying what? Well, just about anything that they can get their hands on, quite frankly. Now, that being said, I do have people ask me questions a lot about, hey, what should I buy as far as like a rifle or something like that? Because I want to purchase a rifle just in case somebody wins and they take them off the shelves and I can't get them anymore. Infringe. Don't worry, we're going to go over it. Now, the AR-15 is my personal recommendation. The AR-15 is a venerable rifle. It is a great rifle, and it does its job very, very well as long as it's set up properly. Why? Because this is simple. This is stupid, simple, easy to learn, and it'll give you the basics of a rifle that is going to be reliable for the most part. And I say for the most part because every rifle has a failing point. You'll see a lot of high-speed ones now that look really cool, got a lot of different options, stuff like that, but for general self-defense purposes, if you do not have a ton of money or a ton of time to train or to seek out training, I do recommend purchasing just something very simplistic like this. So what do we have here? This is a Palmetto State Armory AR-15. It has a 20-inch barrel. It's chambered in 5.56 NATO. It is designed for the AR-15 platform. It is a nice 22 caliber projectile that pipes out there pretty hot. What do I love about the Palmetto State Armories? They're not that expensive and they're fairly reliable. When I picked up this rifle, MSRP was about $600. Now they're going upwards of $800, $900, which is a shame. You have a good barrel in this. All right, this is an FN made barrel. It's chrome lined. It is a very nice barrel. The 20-inch barrel just fucks, and it fucks all day. That comes down to the ballistics with that 5.56. Again, it shoots really nice. Up at the front, we have an A2 muzzle device. It's a flash hider. Works really well. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. They're fantastic. Over here, we have your standard pattern AR-15 M16 gas block. This is going to work really well. They're super reliable. Even if they heat up real hot, they're still going to cycle the action, no problem. Down here, your simple GI build system. I haven't changed the trigger or anything like that. I haven't even changed the charging handle because when you start changing stuff, you start taking it out of factory spec. And when you do that, well, guess what? Things can get tough. Now down here we have a carry handle. There are basically optics that can mount to this. I did like a retro build with it, but you can also remove this and put on a red dot, which is what I recommend, a red dot with a magnifier, something like that. Or quite frankly, if you don't have the money or the time, there's absolutely nothing wrong with shooting on irons. Don't let anyone tease you about that because shooting on irons is kind of based. You have a standard buffer system down here inside the stock. What does that mean? Basically, there's a big giant spring with a weight that allows that to travel back and forth and mitigate recoil. With that heavy barrel and it being 20 inches and just a 22 caliber projectile, this thing doesn't have hardly any felt recoil, so you can land very accurate, quick shots. They're fantastic for that. Actually, there's going to be two major changes into this entire system. Do not change the trigger. Do not fuck with the gas system. Do not fuck with the buffer system. These work, and they're designed to work in a certain way. If you're going to make a change, add some sort of optic, okay? Red dot plus magnifier system over here on the rail, totally fine. Or if you're going to be like me and add in a system that mounts directly to your existing furniture, that's fantastic. Otherwise, next thing that I do recommend you add is a sling. This is a Larry Vickers Blue Forest Gear sling. I know people are like, Larry Vickers did XYZ. I don't give a fuck. The slings are amazing. You can't argue that. It's a good quality product, and they aren't that expensive. The reason why you want a sling is because sometimes you need your hands free, and putting your rifle on the ground is kind of dumb. In fact, it's really dumb. Don't do that. Keep your rifle or your weapon with you, and if you're going to, need to work with your hands, you want a sling to be able to do that. Other than that, this works great. Buy 4 or 5 of these Magpul magazines. They're fairly inexpensive. Buy about 1,000 rounds of 5.56. Do some training. Go shoot the gun a few times, and by a few times, I mean put like 500 rounds through it. And do so in a way that you can actually, learn the system, be able to range out your shots between 25 to 100 yards pretty easily. Also, zero the weapon. That's huge. You can't just go around with an unzeroed rifle and expect to do much damage, although Rittenhouse did pretty good stuff at point blank. So, that being said, get some trigger time, know the weapon. I think all said and done, between the ammunition, the magazines, the sling, and the rifle itself, you're coming in, oh God, what would you say, like less than $2,000? It's not that expensive. Honestly, for life-saving devices, that's not that bad. What I'm going to say is that this system right here works. It's incredibly reliable, and I have shot close to 1,000 rounds on it without any failures or anything like that. So this is a reliable enough rifle for your general purposes. Guys, sorry, later date, later time, later me. After editing this video together, I realized I didn't wrap it up, and I'm like, wow, what kind of a bonehead makes videos for YouTube and then totally forgets to do an outro. Well, long story short, guys, the AR-15 is a certified pipe hitter. Everyone knows it. Everyone believes it. Even the AK fanboys know it and believe it. It's just something that works. Now, we don't know how elections are always going to turn out, but we do know there's one side of the aisle that has come back to a certain issue the entire time. Ban assault weapons, ban assault weapons. And the AR-15 is on the top of that list. So if you were interested in purchasing a good, reliable rifle, you're not going to spend a ton of money, that's going to work for you, that works really, really well, the AR-15. Just go buy one, buy a few, buy a couple lowers, just the lower receiver. That is the stamp serialized part. If you buy 5 or 6 of them at $100, cool, you can build 5 or 6 AR-15s very easily, and then you're all set. So you don't have to really worry about it. You do you. I don't know your budget, I don't know your stuff, but if you're interested in a reliable rifle, the AR-15 is the way to go. And I trust the other side when they say, hey, we want to get rid of stuff, because that's kind of what they historically do. So I'm going to take their word for it, and I'm just going to keep buying AR-15s, and you should too. As always, guys, thank you for watching. Please make sure you like and subscribe. That really does help out the channel. We've been growing leaps and bounds this year, and quite frankly, there's a lot of stuff I want to do, a lot of reviews, looking at some really interesting platforms like the P90, things like that. That all costs a lot of money, and the more subscribers we get, the more people that we get following this channel, the better it's going to be for me to be able to go back to other people who might be helping me fund this and say, hey, can I get a little bit of money for ammo? Can I get a little bit of this or that? Just a little bit of funding goes a long way. But as always, guys, stay safe, stay free, and I'll catch you on the next one.